Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater. You know, one of the absolute essentials for a musician, a recording engineer, producer, whether you're doing live sound, studio work, whether you're gigging, you just have to have a direct box or a DI box. So today we're going to take a look at 4 direct boxes at a wide range of prices. We'll listen to the sound of them, and we'll also take a look inside so you can see what you're getting at those different price points. But first, what is a direct box? What is a DI box as they're known? DI stands for direct input, or often we call it direct injection. And basically what we're doing is allowing instrument level sources, such as a guitar, a bass, a keyboard, to feed a microphone level input. And again, that's whether you're in the studio or whether you're on stage. So what the DI box does is it matches both the impedance and the signal level, as well as balancing the signal for long cable runs and to get things set to the right level to feed into that microphone level preamp. There are 2 different ways that DI boxes do this. The first is with what's called a passive DI box, where we're basically just using a transformer to convert that signal. The second approach is an active DI box, and in this case we're using circuitry to convert things, and then typically there's a transformer coupled output as well. They both have their advantages. A passive direct box is much simpler, doesn't require phantom power or any power for that matter. An active direct box can use really top-of-the-line circuitry to get you a great level signal, maybe able to drive longer cables, those kinds of things, but it is going to require power, whether AC power from the wall or 48-volt phantom power from your microphone preamp. Common features among DI boxes include things like a ground lift. Now this is important for preventing ground loops, because often you're going to be using that direct box in the midst of a variety of other connections, and ground loops are very possible. So having that ground lift can help you prevent you having buzzes in your signal. Another very useful feature is polarity invert. You'll see this as 0, 180 degrees out of phase. And this can be important if you're running both through an amp as well as direct at the same time, because you don't want that polarity to be backward. You can get cancellation problems when that happens. Another useful feature can be a pad. What a pad does is basically attenuate or drop down the signal level, and that allows you to handle hotter signals without overload problems. Now, I highly recommend checking out the great direct box comparison article over at our news and research page at sweetwater.com. Here you'll see a wide range of different direct boxes. You'll get to hear them in action as well. But for today, I've got 4 different direct boxes for you to check out. We'll begin with the Behringer Ultra DI, the DI400P. Now this comes in at the time of this filming at $21.90. It's the least expensive among our 4 direct boxes. This is a passive instrument direct box. It has a parallel input and output, meaning you can plug into one jack and then come out of the second one to an amplifier, while also running direct out with an XLR balanced output into your microphone preamp. We have a ground lift switch to prevent any sort of ground loop problems, and this comes in at less than a ½ pound, so it's very easy to throw one into your gig bag and take it with you wherever you're going. Next up, we have the Rupert Neve Designs RNDI-M active transformer direct interface. And this comes in at the time of this filming at $199. It's a brand new direct box that we just got here at Sweetwater. I'm really enjoying this one. Now it uses discrete Class A circuitry that's built around Mr. Rupert Neve's custom transformers. It has ultra flat response from 5 Hz to 90 kHz at levels up to plus 20.5 dB. So this is well suited to a pro environment. Very low output impedance allows you to drive very long cables. Now you do need power with this. It works off of 48-volt phantom power from your mic preamp. Other features include a ground lift switch. You've got parallel input and output, so again we can run in and through to an amplifier, and then we've got our XLR balanced out. The United Studio Technologies Vintage Direct comes in at $399 at this filming. This is a passive direct box. It has a ground lift on it, has a polarity invert switch on it, and there's also a 12 dB pad that allows you to drop that signal down. Now, an interesting feature here is that it does have an output level control as well, so you can get things gain stage exactly the way you want them feeding into your mic preamp. We have parallel in and out for running through to an amplifier, and XLR balanced out, and the design has everything recessed for protection, so if you drop this or drop something against it, you're not going to damage any of those controls or connections. Finally, we have the Hazelrigg VDI vacuum tube direct injection box. Comes in at $1,350. Its all-tube circuitry was designed in conjunction with DW400P. Now this is an AC-powered direct box, features custom Jensen transformers and has ultra-flat response from 0.5 Hz to 95 kHz. It has ground lift, parallel in and out for feeding an amplifier, XLR balanced out, and again, the controls and the connections are actually recessed for protection. This features a solid 1/4 inch thick aluminum plate enclosure, and it comes with a 7-year warranty. You heard me playing through all 4 of these direct boxes so you could compare them side by side. Now let's listen again with a different piece of music. I'll be finger picking this one, and I'm playing a brand new Taylor Gold Label acoustic guitar. Fantastic sounding instrument. Let's check it out. Now that we've heard the 4 direct boxes, I think it's going to be interesting to take a look inside them and see what you're really getting with each one of these. Before we begin, a quick caveat. I do not recommend opening up your gear. If you do so, you'll void the warranty, so keep that cover on there. But let's take a look inside because this is pretty interesting. We'll begin with the Behringer Ultra DI. Now this is a straight-ahead passive direct box. When we think of a passive direct box, we think of transformers, and that's just what we'll find inside here. We've got our input and our through. We've got our XLR output to feed the mic preamp. This is our ground lift switch, and this transformer is handling everything else for us. It's the component that's taking care of converting our signal from instrument level to balanced microphone level output. Next up, we have the Rupert Neve Designs RNDI-M. Now this is an active direct box with a transformer coupled output, so there's quite a bit more going on inside here. We've still got our input and our output, or our through actually, on 1/4-inch jacks here. This is our XLR output. We've got our ground lift switch here, a big transformer here, and that's doing our transformer coupled output for us. And then the rest of this is active circuitry. Again, that's powered by 48-volt phantom power. So it's providing you with the FET input. This is going to be very much the same type of an input as you find on a guitar amplifier. So it's going to simulate that effect for you. The impedances are going to match, and it's all going to be handled by that beautiful Rupert Neve design circuitry. Now let's take a look inside the vintage Direct from United Technologies. Now this is a passive Direct box, but it does have some additional features. So we pop the front panel off, slide out the circuitry. We've got our input, our through, our XLR balanced output here, large transformer in the center. Again, that's doing actually the heavy lifting. It's converting things for us. A few other components here that allow us to have the pad, that allow us to have this output, variable output control, and so on. So a few more features inside this, but a very clean design that gives you a lot of versatility. Inside the VDI from Hazelrigg Industries, we've got beautiful tube circuitry, as well as some pretty impressive transformers. This is actually a toroidal transformer that's on the power supply and the input, because this is an active direct box that plugs straight into the wall. So that toroidal transformer is helping us out in that power supply section. That's where these big capacitors are working as well. We've got an output coupling transformer. Our vacuum tube is here. It's inside this metal shield to help keep it quiet as things are going on. And then we have that beautiful, again, Class A circuitry that's wrapped around all that. It's a beautiful circuit design. I hope you've enjoyed this look at 4 direct boxes at wildly different price points. They're very different in their topologies and their approach. They have different sound quality as well. Now this is just a tiny, tiny sampling of the many, many direct boxes we carry here at Sweetwater, and each one has its unique capabilities and sound quality. To find out which is going to be best for you, head over to sweetwater.com, or your best resource is always your Sweetwater sales engineer. Give them a call. They'll be glad to help you out. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Mitch Gallagher from Sweetwater.